finna happen. Stephen A, hush your mouth, talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D, Texas where we stay at. Me and sign an order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and now we don't play that. Work. This is Cowboy Nation. Work. Welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work. Y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. We are back defending the boys. I am your boy, I Heard D Will, and we're still going to defend the boys. I know at 3-5-1, the season looks to be bleak. I'm here for the diehard fans, but I'm also here for the reasonable fans. I really want to have a conversation today just about the new look defense when we get ready to come back from our bye week. I'm not still making pushes and trying to say, hey, this is for the playoff run and trying to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not necessarily doing that. I'm a diehard fan, so I always keep the faith. All right, I got to keep the faith. That's just necessary. So I will be keeping the faith as far as that's concerned, but I don't want you to get into a situation where you don't want to watch because you feel like I'm a homer. Let's clear this out the way. I'm definitely a homer. That's what I'm here for. The page is called Defending the Boys. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to defend the boys. So we're going to get into that new look defense. But before we do that, I want to have an opportunity to play a trailer for our new sponsor. Our sponsor for this episode is the television show Bounty, which will be playing on Tubi. It will be playing on Tubi in December. Bounty, check it out.
I'm starting a fugitive recovery team, and
Wait.
I need you. Welcome to the Bounty team. Officially. I got a whole team of gladiators. Chris, Valentina, Stacy.
Okay, that's it.
Whoa, please, I'm through. We got action, Chris.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Good shit, Valentino.
Bounty on Tubi. It's coming in December. Y'all go and check it out. So we're going to talk about the new look defense. One of the biggest problems that we've had this year has been with our defense, and we made a lot of moves. Some of them wasn't necessarily planned, and so I do want to take just a moment to say RIP to Marshawn Nealon. That was something that really touched me. It was a lot for me because mental health is a lot to me. It's a business that my wife actually runs in a mental health realm. So it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the family. I've had those situations where everybody around me thought that my life was great, and not so much. And man, I wish someone could have been there to do things a little bit different for that young man, and I hate that it didn't happen. But I am definitely sending out prayers to his girlfriend as well as the rest of the family, because that is a pain that I know is unimaginable. So prayers out to you guys. So we have a new look defense that we're going to be unveiling when we come back. And the good thing is that we have an opportunity, hopefully, to let that defense get a lot of good work in at the end of the year. They may even be semi-fighting for a playoff spot, although I believe it's going to be fairly difficult, like even if they won every game, which is difficult in itself. I still feel like, it would be, kind of pushing it to actually, I mean, we would literally have to win every single one of them. I don't think we could win 6 of the next 9 and still make it in, just because of the people that we have lost to being above us and it making it just way too difficult. It would take a lot. The football gods would have to be on our side. We can still get second place in our division. That seems awfully plausible. However, I just think it's going to be difficult. But the new look defense will have an opportunity to do a little bit. And let's be honest. If we were able to, not saying that we can, but if we were able to create a shutdown defense, this team could still win 8 of the next 8 and take a run all the way through to the Super Bowl. So again, for all of my real diehard defending the boys fans, there's still an opportunity like that. I'm just not necessarily selling that side. But what I do want to talk about is, what does this defense look like with Quinnen Williams now in the middle, along with Osa and Kenny? That rotation that's going to be going on. Now you have Donald Ezeraku, who is starting to now show flashes of 16 sack guy from college. And it is a situation where he could really start to pick up, and especially if you're going to have to leave him on a tight end now, because you definitely want to leave a tackle for the defensive end for Clowney, on the Jadeveon Clowney on the other side, because if you leave him with the tight end, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems one side or the other, because I would assume that you're going to double both tackles, right? You've been doubling Osa. You got to double Quentin Williams. You were doubling Kenny Clark a lot too. So, I mean, regardless of which one of those 3 guys is in there, you probably want to double both, which means now that's 4. You got a tackle. That's your 5th offensive lineman that can go get one of our defensive ends. And you got to hope that a tight end can block the other. Now, if that doesn't happen, right, then what you end up in a situation is one of those guys in the middle, Oso Odigizua or Quentin Williams, is going to be able to get pressure up the middle. And I think that that's a different dynamic than what we had before. Now, again, Kenny Clark was great when it came to run, and he had some pass push to him. And I do think he kind of got to a situation where he was like, why? After a while, like, he wasn't playing his best football. But I think not having to count on him play after play after play as he gets older, being able to rotate 4 guys in there, because we still got Perry Winfrey coming back. I haven't talked about him yet. So in the tackle room, you're talking about still Kenny Clark. You're talking about Oso Odigizua, and then you're talking about Quentin Williams, and then you bring in a Perry Winfrey with Dax Doppelganger. I don't forgot his name that quick, but him being able to rotate in and out. He's a great rotational player, not a player that, again, you'd want to count on every play. But you have a great rotation now in the middle with a real superstar. Quentin Williams is a real superstar. He is a guy who makes a difference, who you have to account for every time that he touches the field. You can't just say, oh, it doesn't matter where he is. No, you have to account for him. He's that type of all-pro, Pro Bowl player. So we don't want to underestimate the fact that we got a dog. We did get a dog in Quentin Williams. Now, I'm not getting ready to make this argument. I think that it's crazy. I don't like that people are continuing to make the Micah Parsons trade a part of this trade. Like, okay, we traded Micah Parsons for this person. That is the craziest thing ever. We've traded Micah Parsons because we really could not work out the deal. Say it was Jerry Jones's attitude. Say it was Micah Parsons asking for too much. Whatever the case is, again, I've owned businesses. So, yes, I understand having an attitude is mine. Shoot, the Jerry Jones said it's mine. My business is gonna happen my way. I don't care about all you people that love to come to my to my team's stuff. It's gonna have to work my way, and I understand it. So again, say what you want to about whose fault it was, if there was attitude and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have an opportunity to sign Micah Parsons. I told you beforehand when it came to leverage, when Micah started talking about his back and started positioning himself not to play. Okay, if you're not going to pay me the number that I'm asking for, if you're going to tell me that I'm going to play on the tag, that I'm going to be hurt an entire year. And those type of conversations, I just know were coming through the pipe when it came down to him. He was really looking around for what I can do, and milking that back injury thing that magically disappeared and cleared up in just 2 weeks. It seemed like, but it went on forever as long as he wasn't getting his money. So again, Micah Parsons was not an opportunity field for us. We couldn't do it. That was just a situation that couldn't or just didn't get done. It doesn't matter what we traded or did. He wasn't playing for us this year under what we needed him to play for. And we wasn't about to pay what Green Bay paid for him to play. So it is what it is. We can really stop making that connection. But what we got in Quentin Williams was a dog. He is a guy that you have to take a look at. And if you really want to talk about generational talents, Quentin Williams is really a generational talent. You know, when you pay attention to edge rushers like Micah Parsons, he is amazing. He's an amazing edge rusher. However, they had another edge rusher come out of his school that is the type of player that he is. They have other players that's coming out that is the type of player that he is. It is hard. You don't get every year the type of player that Quentin Williams is. And that's why I say he is a generational talent. He is a guy that has to be accounted for on every play. So I'm very excited about what it is that we got out of Quentin Williams. Okay. So if we're looking at the defensive tackle and then the defensive ends, we're in a situation now where those tackles have a great rotation, and we should get a better pass rush. The people should be able to have to double team. Like I said, even on the run plays, it's going to be harder to come off of Quentin Williams and get up to the backer. Now, that wouldn't mean anything if we were still using Kenneth Murray and whoever else that we were going to stick out there and have them doing some of the things. I believe that we're going to see the guy that we just traded for, who has been playing. He's not out of shape. He's been playing football. He just has, and he knows the system because he was with Flus beforehand. So he should know the system a little bit as well. As from a linebacker standpoint, they say he's quick to dissect. He gets in the right hole instead of jumping into the wrong hole and misreading things and things of that nature. So we expect for Logan to be able to now read, dissect, and move even in the passing game, but definitely in the running game, because it's one of the first things that we have to talk about, right? From a running game situation. And I think with Overshawn coming back, that we're going to see much better linebacker play, simply because they have to double team Quentin Williams, and it's going to be hard to come off of him and make it to one of the backers. Now your backers can flow. And if you're not double teaming Odigizua, which is a possibility, then maybe that one can come off of one linebacker, but you still have the other linebacker flowing to try to make plays. So I feel like they make the linebacker play a little bit better if you have decent linebackers out there. I feel like that's going to be a situation that's going to work out for us with better linebacker play in the run. Hopefully that's the same as they start to run outside instead of inside, because that's been a big problem for us as well. But again, if we have linebackers who can move and dissect plays the way that Logan can dissect plays and Overshawn can move and get to the outside, I think you see better play there. I also think that our safeties coming up on some of those outside runs, now that Wilson and Malik Hooker are both back, also helps us with the outside run. I just think you'll see a much better defensive run game now, especially when you start talking about the situation where you can put Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams in at the same time on heavy rundown situations. I think you can really plug the holes. You can really have some stop at the line of scrimmage, situations where it's 3rd and 3 and they don't pick up 3.5 yards automatically. I think it can be a situation now where 3rd and 3 becomes 4th and 2, and that gets us off of the field where before it did not. I think that is a new look defense from the running side of it. I think that is going to be big. So yes, I think that our safeties being able to come down on the outside and fill the holes. That's one of the things that I saw in the Arizona game, is that the safeties just were slow dissecting and coming downhill and being able to get some of those outside runs. You'll have Wilson back and you'll have Malik Hooker back. That won't be the same situation. You'll have better defensive line play and should have better linebacker play. That should definitely help out the run game. From the passing game standpoint, again, I think if you're double teaming Quinnen Williams, because if you don't, you're going to have a problem throwing the ball because he's going to get you pressure right up the middle. So you got to double team him. We talked about this before. If you double team him and you double team Osa Odigizua, now you got one tackle on Jadeveon Clowney, or if that is one of the other defensive ends, Sam Williams, or man, I'm having problems with my Cowboys names today, y'all. I've had pneumonia all week, so y'all have to give me a break. I'm sorry. I'm just not firing on all cylinders. But the guy from the Commanders that we have, whose name I just is escaping me today for some crazy reason. But if any of them are in there and they're one-on-one with a tight end, especially if it is Jadeveon Clowney or Donovan Ezeraku, I believe that you have a better situation of being able to get pass rush right up the middle and on the sides, both. So Quinnen Williams is not allowing you to get away, even though you double team him. He still gets a push up the middle, getting his hands up, different things like that. That's going to stop some of those just quick 1-2. I think that Overshawn being faster, quicker. I think Logan being able to dissect, see the play, actually get to the right part of the zone, which is crazy because Kenneth Murray just couldn't figure out like where he was supposed to be ever. So I think that even with that, even when you start talking about that porous zone defense that we've been running, I think you have better play there. I think Kalen Carson is better than Kyer Elam. A lot of people disagree with me, including my friend Mike 360, who does the Cowboys fan talk with me. He just disagrees with the fact that Kalen Carson is better than Kyer Elam. I think he is. I think with Kalen Carson and Deron Bland, and then after that, I just don't have a lot of play. I mean, honestly, Deron Bland got cooked by number one wide receiver. I don't think he is that guy. I think he's great for the slot. I don't think he is your travel with the number one wide receiver type of cornerback, or maybe he just had a bad game, but he didn't show that was him in this last game. So you really need for either Kalen Carson to be the guy that he was when he first came out, which I believe he can get back to. I think he can get back to that type of play. Or possibly Siobhan Revel, who I just can't have faith for because I haven't seen him play NFL football yet. So I don't have overly good faith. So I do feel like that there are going to be plays where players can get beat. What I am hoping for is with a better push and a better pass rush, apparently they're not going to get James Houston. Maybe James Houston is forced into more plays now because we are a defensive end down. Again, RIP to Marshawn Nealon. And so James Houston ends up getting more plays out there and making bigger plays. But again, with a better pass rush, I'm hoping that some of the things that we got beat on, we won't continue to get beat on in the secondary. Now, with that being said, we were getting beat with our starting safeties and everything, but we didn't get a pass rush. So again, with the pass rush, maybe the safeties don't get beat deep. And then from a zone cover situation, maybe we cover better in the middle. And then if it is man, but they're throwing quick slants, maybe Kalen Carson, even a Siobhan Revel or somebody can actually do a better job of staying on the wide receiver and not giving up 8 yards to 20 yards every time somebody backs up to throw the ball. So with that being said, I am excited about the front part of our defense. I don't have the most confidence in the back end of our defense. I think that if we had a healthy Trayvon Diggs, again, I have no idea the weird situations that's going on with Trayvon Diggs. I have absolutely no idea. But if we had a healthy Trayvon Diggs, a healthy Kalen Carson, and a healthy Deron Bland with the defensive line and the linebackers that we just spoke about, I would feel really good about the team taking a shot at running the tables, taking a shot at it. As defending the boys, as a true diehard fan, yada, 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 whatever you want to say about me, I would feel that way about the team if we had that. Without that, I still think it's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be extremely difficult to do what it is that we want to do. So let's look at, just real quick, let's start to look at the remaining schedules. Okay. Um, we have a Raiders team. Nobody's a given, but with better defense, we should be able to beat the Raiders. Um, and then we should be able to beat the Giants the last game of the year. And the Commanders aren't doing much, So those are 3 games that we feel like we can get to, and that's only 6 games. So the question is, the Philadelphia game, the Kansas City game, the Denver game, the Minnesota game, the Chargers game, based on what we did in the last 2 weeks, we can't beat none of those teams. But let's see what happens when we play the Raiders and then we play the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see at that point, do we see a different defense, or is there still a defense that's giving up, I don't know, 40, 50 points per game? Let's see if our offense can get into just a rhythm of being able to play a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, and not having to back up and throw bombs all day and show out the fact that our offensive tackles are garbage. Let's find out what happens when we can do things just systematically and showcase that offense the way that it's designed to be run, where we can cover up some of our deficiencies on offense and really go out there and put 35, 40 points in the game, because we're not so uptight that we think we have to score on every drive. It could possibly be a different team that we're talking about. So we'll see if that happens when we get into the Raiders game, and more so when we get into that Eagles game, to see what happens when you're really playing against a team that can, can push it out there. I still think that if the defense does what they're supposed to do, we could have beat Philadelphia the first week. And we're healthy now with Demari and Overshawn, both the safeties, corner still kind of iffy, yada, yada, yada. But, Jalen Hurts isn't the best quarterback. We were able to contain him in the first game. I mean, we really do have some opportunities, and we'll be talking about them as we move on, because I am going to defend the boys. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Say what you want to say. I'm defending the boys. If they don't win another game this year, I'm going to be defending the boys, and you keep tuning in. Thank you to the people over at Bounty and the people over at Tubi for sponsoring this show. This is Defending the Boys. I am I Heard D Will. Check us out on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Let us know if you got any questions. We'll try to answer them right here. All right, I'm out.